One thing I really love about, is that light blinking again? Okay, that's driving me nuts. That light is blinking. Not sure if a new technique is going to work for you? These guys are your new best friends. I'm going to show you why. One of the things I really love about Gourd Art, and probably why it's captured my attention for so many years, is that it really lends itself to pretty much any medium that you enjoy working with. So if you're a multi-passionate creative like I am, and you pretty much like to play around with any kind of art form, whether it's carving or weaving or painting or pyrography or whatever you can think of, chances are it's going to work pretty well on a gourd. But, you need to test it out. So that is where I turn to using these little cut shards. So my little hint to you is whenever you do cut a gourd open and you want to make a bowl, save the lid and cut the lid into little pieces. That's what I've been doing. So if I don't need the top of the gourd for any other purpose, then I will just cut it down into these little pieces. And then I use these pieces to experiment with. Gourds are great for asking the what if question. What if this will work? What if that will work? What would happen if I did this or that? And you combine things that maybe you wouldn't normally think of, but you just want to see if it'll work, if it'll look good, if it'll look beautiful. I mean, it's innovative. You'll come up with something that's completely new. And that's what's really exciting about working with gourds. And all of that is just to lead me here, which is playing around with watercolor on gourds. And this time what I'm going to be doing is watercolor along with pyrography on gourds. So first, I'm going to get started with the pyrography. So I am working on 2 gourd shards today, and they are both going to be little bird portraits. So I am doing the pyrography part first. And what I did was outline my bird first because I just want to make sure that the background, which is going to be the watercolor, will have a defined edge to lay behind. So here are the 2 little birds that I am going to be doing some watercolor backgrounds for. So I will be using watercolor grounds today. The first one is the white golden core watercolor ground. And the other one I'll be using is the Daniel Smith iridescent gold watercolor ground. And this is a great little product, both of these, just for turning anything into a watercolor ready surface. So I'm just going to go ahead and start painting this in. And I'm going to give this 2 coats and at least leave about 2 to 3 hours in between each coat. And I will be doing the same with the gold. Now the instructions on both the containers say to give it about 24 to 48 hours, but really just a couple hours in between coats worked fine for me. You just want to make sure that it's dry, totally dry, so that it doesn't lift up the previous layer. I have this tiny little sky painting that I'm using for inspiration. And I'm just going to go ahead and get started mixing my color. Hey, I just wanted to let you know real quick that if you did not already know, I do have an online Gourd Academy. It's called Gourd Studio Workshop. And there I focus primarily on gourd pyrography. And now I have just recently added a few new classes on gourd pyrography enhanced with mixed media. So my 2 newest classes are this one here, the Blue Morpho Butterfly, where we use pyrography and mixed media to make this lifelike blue morpho butterfly on a gourd. And my very newest class is this one here, which is a Celtic dragon. So we wood burn or pyrography the dragon, and then we add an embossed dragon skin. So both of these are really fun classes. They're not very difficult to do. But once you learn how to do these techniques, you can take these techniques to your own work and apply them in different ways using different colors or whatever your imagination may lead you. So I hope you will join me for one of these classes. You can check the description box below for a link to those classes. Okay, so the watercolor set that I'm using today is the Ali Kavanaugh portrait set by Core. And even though they're labeled as a portrait set, it is a very nice limited palette that mixes very well together to create quite a range of colors. And I've been using them a lot. In fact, it was from some Ali Kavanaugh videos that opened my eyes to the Core watercolor ground, and I had previously tried a Daniel Smith white ground and a transparent ground, and actually I do have a video on that. I think I did it last year or the year before, and I'll leave a link to that below and at the end of this video if you are interested in looking at that. But yeah, this watercolor ground does feel a little bit different from the Daniel Smith. I think I like it a little bit better. It just, the watercolor flows very nicely on it. You do have to be careful though, because it does lift very easily, which on the one hand is nice because it makes it very forgiving. If you don't like what you've done, you can very easily remove it, but you do have to be, just have a very light touch and just be careful not to add too much water or you will lose what you've done. And here I'm just using some white gouache just to bring out some of the highlights, and I don't have any ground on here. I'm just doing this right over top of the bare gourd. So now on to the gold. I'm using this other little shard as an inspiration with the white birch trees and kind of a dark gray sky is what I'm thinking for this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and put in some rust colored background trees, just kind of very loose and washy. And then I'm using some white gouache to put in the trees. And then I'm using a very fine brush just to add some more spindly trees in the background. And then starting to lay in the sky. Now, at this point, I am not very happy with how this is turning out. So I went ahead and took a spray bottle and sprayed the whole thing down and just wiped it right off. And I am starting over with a new color scheme because this was just not working for me. Now the funny thing here is I decided to go with some new materials, and I am using Derwent Inktense pencils to lay in some new trees, and I went completely in the opposite direction. I am not going with white trees. I'm going with more of a dark, moody forest type scene. So I am drawing it in first with the Inktense and then going in with just a wet brush. And I'm also using this other technique where you can color your Inktense pencils on another piece of paper and then just use plain water to lift off some of that color and apply that to your final piece. And it just gives you a little bit more of a light washy color. I really like this technique and I can see myself doing more of this, whether I'm working on gourds or on paper, because I think I can get a little more subtle variations working this way. And now I'm going to do the same thing with this little bird and just add a little bit of highlights right on to the bare gourd in the little areas where I left unburned. So here are my finished little gourd shards, and I feel like these were a success. I had fun doing them. I learned from working small like this, and I plan on doing this same technique on a larger scale on one of my larger gourds. But you know what's nice? Working small like this, not a lot of time commitment. Hey, thanks for sticking with me today. And I'd love to know what if question are you asking about gourds today? What kind of technique or materials that you think normally wouldn't mix do you want to try and see if it will work on a gourd? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you.